God-level duplication system. Chapter 89. 10% sword intent. After that, Chen Xiao said in a deep voice, "Lin Xuan, you are very strong. You have once again exceeded my expectations. However, if this is your full strength, you will definitely lose this bet. You can try." Lin Xuan smiled faintly and gave an ambiguous answer. When Chen Xiao heard this, his heart skipped a beat. He had a bad feeling. But now that things had come to this, he could no longer hold back his strength. Regardless of whether Lin Xuan hid his strength or not, he had to use this last trump card. Only then would he have no regrets in this battle. "Alright, I'll give it a try," Chen Xiao shouted out loudly. He held the blade with both hands, and an even more terrifying, sharp light was emitted from it. The surrounding disciples felt a sharp pain, and a deadly threat struck them. They hurriedly retreated, and their hearts were filled with shock. The few deacons beside the arena couldn't help but be shocked, and they cried out in alarm. This is an artistic conception of creation. Half-incomplete saber intent. I didn't expect Chen Xiao to have comprehended an artistic conception of creation warrior. The concept was the most basic manifestation of the laws of the heavens and earth. It was extremely difficult to comprehend. Even among the elites of the inner sect, very few of them were able to comprehend the artistic conception of creation at the early condensation spin stage. Most of the people who could successfully comprehend the artistic conception of creation were late condensation spin stagers, or even those who had broken through to the spirit opening stage. As for Chen Xiao, he was only an early condensation spin stage level 3. He had already comprehended the artistic conception of creation and the half-incomplete saber intent. Among the elites of the inner sect, he was already a pretty good genius. This was the reason why the deacons were shocked. Compared to Lin Xuan, who had comprehended the artistic conception of creation and half-incomplete sword intent when he was only at the Qi gathering stage, Chen Xiao seemed ordinary. At this moment, Lin Xuan was gambling with Chen Xiao on the arena. Therefore, the few deacons were shocked for a moment before they calmed down. Their eyes returned to the arena. Originally, after Lin Xuan used the half-incomplete sword intent, even the elite Chen Xiao of the inner sect was at a disadvantage. But now, Chen Xiao has also used the artistic conception of creation and the half-incomplete saber intent. Chen Xiao's cultivation base was a realm higher than Lin Xuan's, so the power of Chen Xiao's skill was much stronger. This time, there were more twists and turns in the bet, and it was even more exciting. Their eyes were filled with excitement. This was a battle that was rarely seen in the gambling arena in a few months. However, the deacons didn't lower their voices. The disciples, who had retreated to the square a few hundred meters away, heard what they said. Immediately, there was an uproar. Senior disciple Chen Xiao has also comprehended the artistic conception of creation and the half-incomplete sword intent. The half-incomplete sword intent versus the half-incomplete sword intent. Senior brother Lin Xuan's cultivation base is still a bit weak. He might lose. Not necessarily. Perhaps senior brother Lin Xuan still has some trump cards hidden up his sleeve. Is the half-incomplete sword intent not enough? How could he still have a trump card? All the disciples were discussing amongst themselves. They still didn't think highly of Lin Xuan. After all, Lin Xuan was just a new beginner-level disciple. An ordinary disciple wouldn't even be familiar with the outer sect during this period of time. However, Lin Xuan had already entered the inner sect, and he had even defeated all the disciples of the inner sect. All the disciples felt very uncomfortable. However, this was a world where strength was respected. They were all afraid of Lin Xuan's strength and called him his senior brother. In their hearts, they still hoped that Lin Xuan would be defeated. Lin Xuan's brilliance was too dazzling along the way. If he was defeated once, they would feel better. They comforted themselves like this. Unfortunately, they were just illusions. Lin Xuan would not be defeated so easily. On the arena, after Chen Xiao released the half-incomplete saber intent, he didn't say anything else and just attacked. Raging flames. He took a step forward and jumped into the air. With both hands holding the treasured saber, he swung the saber down heavily. The crimson saber light flew out, controlling the raging flames as it rushed towards Lin Xuan. Under the enhancement of the half-incomplete saber intent, his power rose rapidly, turning into a scarlet, flame blade light that was dozens of meters long and fell towards Lin Xuan. Its power was far greater than before. The temperature of the surrounding air increased dramatically. Even the void seemed to be slightly distorted by it. Even the disciples who were far away in the square felt thirsty, and their vitality was boiling hot. It was as if the true qi was going to burn up in the next moment. They were shocked by Chen Xiao's strength. The few deacons beside the ring felt their skin heat up. They only recovered after activating true qi. They were even more surprised by Chen Xiao. An ordinary condensation spin stage 7 wouldn't have the confidence to defeat Chen Xiao. The power of this blade was close to the combat strength of a late condensation spin stage. Chen Xiao had hidden a lot of his strength during normal times. At this moment, he had actually revealed all of his true strength to Lin Xuan. It seemed like he attached great importance to Lin Xuan. All the disciples and deacons looked at Lin Xuan. This time, Chen Xiao revealed his combat strength, which was several times stronger than before. How would Lin Xuan deal with this? Would he be defeated on the spot, or would he unleash an even stronger attack? Everyone was looking forward to it. On the arena, its power is not bad. Lin Xuan muttered and shook his head slightly. Unfortunately, you met me. After he finished speaking, a sword light flew out. Gale. In an instant, a terrifying, sharp light was emitted from Lin Xuan's body. It soared into the sky. This was extremely terrifying. The sword radiance suddenly increased dramatically under the added effect of this terrifying sword radiance. The fierce wind that surrounded his body turned into a storm. Wherever it passed, nothing could stop it. Even the flames that spread out from the scarlet flame blade light were extinguished. The fierce wind sword light had yet to slash out, but the storm had already destroyed more than half of the power of the scarlet flame blade light. Its power was incomparable. The next moment, the Zephyr blade slashed down on the scarlet flame blade light. This time, there were no more explosive sounds. A crisp sound was heard. The scarlet flame blade light couldn't even withstand a single blow, and it immediately broke apart. Immediately, it turned into countless amounts of natural spiritual energy and dissipated. However, the fierce wind sword's power was slightly reduced. Its speed didn't change as it continued to slash at Chen Xiao. Wherever the blade passed, it was as if space itself had been crushed. This is an artistic conception of creation. 10% sword intent. Chen Xiao could feel the terrifying sword light shooting up into the sky. He was shocked and couldn't help but exclaim. He had never thought that Lin Xuan would actually have a hidden strength. It was already a miracle that a Qi transformation stage disciple could comprehend half of the concept. He never thought that Lin Xuan would actually comprehend even more. He had comprehended the 10% sword intent. This had already surpassed a miracle. He didn't think that those rumors were true. He had greatly underestimated Lin Xuan. He was able to comprehend the 10% sword intent when he was only at the Qi transformation stage.